right. Afternoon, everybody. It is Friday, September 1st. Ooh. Did anyone wake up this morning and look at the date and go, how is it September 1st? So I'm here outside of Willow Creek Elementary School. Kind of, but not really. This is going to be a very busy building today. And of course, the first day of school is coming up next Tuesday on the 5th. Everyone's scrambling back to school shopping. Kids are hopefully excited to go back. The weather feels like fall. And so it's our first show in September. So now my co-host Dave was invited to go to a really important, prestigious event in the city of Calgary. He said he may be able to pop in, but we're not going to put any pressure on him. So if he does show up, I'll completely leave that up to him because he's a very, very busy man. We got a good show today. We're going to be talking to Jana from ATB Financial. They have some really interesting stuff coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about an event they have coming up on the 13th, which is this event right here, the Home Buying Experience. And so they have a realtor, they have a lawyer, they have some insurance people who are going to talk about how to approach buying your first house, especially if you're new to the country, new to the province. It's a tough thing to navigate, and her and I have been chatting before the show, and she's clearly an expert, and I'm going to look forward to chatting with her in a moment. And then a little bit later in the show, Lauren's going to be on location in this building. It's a big day today. It's an open house at West Meadow. So if you've got some kids who may be going into grade 1, grade 2, maybe they're a bit nervous about going back to school, we're going to talk with Lauren about that, and she will put everybody at ease. So first, before we get into our first guest, I just need to thank our sponsors for the show, because we have sponsors that help us pay for this chair that I'm sitting in outside of the school because it's very comfortable. It's not really true. But we do have to pay for our software, and we do have expenses, and it's pretty great that we get these sponsors. So let's jump into, wait for it now. We'll jump into our first sponsor right now. Big thanks to Janet's Fashions. They've been a sponsor on the show for us since the beginning. And Janet's, they have men's and women's fashions. You can go in there. They are open 9 to 5, Monday, I believe, to Saturday. They're on the corner of 50th Ave and the highway. So you can go check them out. They've got some new fall fashions coming in. If you still want to go golfing, you can go check out their golf shirts, golf pants. And they have an excellent selection. Oh, we've got Dave, I think, jumping in the middle of our sponsors. Hey, we're doing sponsors. Do you want to do our next sponsor?
Yeah, let's say hi to a sponsor. Let's thank our sponsors.
Yeah, we're doing that right now. We're doing it. Let's
do it.
Here we go. Next, Dollar Store. Your dollar store with more. The dollar store's got so much. They've got party supplies, helium balloons, gift cards, gift bags, wrapping paper, stationery, things for your pets, baby supplies, toys, seasonal housewares, the list goes on. They are locally owned and operated and proud to serve our community, and they will always look after you with a smile, and they appreciate your past, present, and future support. And finally, Claresholm Pharmacy. Now, this is going to be very popular with folks with back to school. You might need to go and get some Advil, maybe get some water, some extra things for your kids' lunches, some vitamins. Take some vitamin D so nobody gets sick on the first day of school. Claresholm Pharmacy is also locally owned and operated, and they now carry groceries, including dairy and cut-loaf meats. They have a team of knowledgeable prescribing pharmacists ready to serve and answer all of your questions. So come on in and say hi to the friendly staff and check out what is new in the store. Whew, it's always a party down there. Speaking of parties, Dave, where are you? Because it looked like you were partying it up right now.
I'm at a loud party right now.
You are. So where did you get invited to? I thought this was like a black tie thing that you were at, like a
black tie thing. Yeah. No, I'm in Calgary. We're partying at near the University of Calgary. It's a tech school here. It's a high school actually.
Okay.
And they all are coming up asking for Barbie girl tracks from the Barbie movie.
Of course.
All these high school students want to hear Barbie, and that's all they want to hear.
That's going to be your whole day today, is spinning Barbie over and
whole
over.
Day is Barbie.
Yeah,
and
Barbie
Gangnam
Day.
Style.
That's great. That's great. You know, it looks like you're having.
That's all gonna play.
Well, you got a tent, which is huge. There you go. Right. As long as we don't get a copyright claim, we're gonna be fine.
Oh, you gotta get off here quick.
Yeah, I know. I can feel it. I can feel there's a bot somewhere.
Later.
Okay, thanks, Dave. We'll see you later. There's a bot somewhere going. They're not supposed to do that. So we are monitored, I think. Well, we'll find out. You know what? We'll find out. If the whole thing shuts down, we'll know it didn't go well. Very interesting stuff. Speaking of interesting stuff, I'm going to bring in my first guest, Jana from ATB Financial. Welcome to the show, Jana. And it looks like it's spelled Jana. We had a conversation about this. It's Jana, so I'm not mispronouncing your name, but I'm sure you get it all the time. You must get called Jana all the time. I'm
That's
guessing.
okay. It's Jana, and if you call me Jana, I won't be upset either.
Okay. I get called Alex a lot, so you do kind of get used to just answering to to whatever's happening. Now I'm not sure if this is for you, Brianna. Hi, girl. Is that directed at Jana?
That could be. I would. Hey, how's it going?
Could be directed at Dave and Barbie Girl. We don't know. We're not sure what's going on.
Great songs.
So thanks for joining us today. There's a lot happening with ATB in the next few weeks, and so we just want to start by saying, first of all, ATB you're not one of the big five, and that's kind of a good thing. There's some advantages to that. So can you just give us kind of a quick overview? How is ATB when you think about banks? And we won't mention any of the others, but the big five, we'll call them. ATB is not part of that, but how are you folks a little bit different, and how do you operate that may be a little different than some of these bigger institutions?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to say thanks a lot for having me on the show. This is an awesome opportunity. I've never been on Facebook Live, so it's the first.
Well, as long as we don't get a copyright claim because of Barbie Girl.
Well,
no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Things will be okay. So ATB, we have such an interesting background. We'll be turning 85 actually September 29th, I believe it is.
Wow.
And we were formed really for the sole purpose of helping farmers go through a tough time. And so obviously through the evolution of the last 85 years, we've adapted and evolved and changed. But at the end of the day, we're still here to power possibilities for Albertans. One of the things that makes us quite unique is we are actually a crown corporation. So we have one shareholder, and that's the province of Alberta. Love it or hate it, that's where it is. And so being that we operate fully in Alberta, it gives us some really great opportunity and flexibility that some of those bigger banks, might not be able to offer. And so, it helps us to really understand what's happening within our clients, the ag community, the entrepreneurs that keep our province going as well. Mm-hmm. It just gives us some flexibility in terms of understanding what's happening and making those decisions really quickly. Mm. When we say if we have to make a decision from head office or something like that, our head office is in Edmonton versus Toronto. And so that can give us a lot of good understanding as well.
And that even just the time difference between us and Toronto can be a bit of an issue, right? Because I've noticed having banked at another bank that's big, sometimes if you're not in early, just even those little things can really add up to be a big difference. And the thing I found with ATB is you really do understand what's going on here. Like you're right in the community, you're very involved in community events. And so that's a huge advantage as well, is that you're connected to this community. It feels in a good way, it feels very personal, which is, I think, always a nice touch when a bank can do that. And so you've got an event coming up that's really interesting, coming up on September 13th. And this is the poster going out on Facebook. The home buying experience. There's a QR code now. Jana, Dave loves QR codes. We bring it up on every show. If you Wikipedia that, he might be one of the inventors of the QR code. I'm not sure, but he loves them. They're very efficient. So if you see this poster around, you can QR code it and you'll get some information. September 13th, it's a Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. ATB Financial downtown here in Claresholm. What are we going to be talking about at this event?
For sure. So we have some experts that are going to be joining us at this event, but really it's an opportunity for anyone who is looking at getting into the home ownership realm, or maybe you are an existing homeowner and you want to learn a little bit more about upsizing, downsizing, the next move. This is a chance for you to come in. It's really designed to be more of a collaboration and a conversation versus, a really formal presentation. So we are fortunate. We've got some really fantastic local experts joining us for the evening. So we've got the lovely Santana Tom joining us to talk about the mortgage industry and the home housing industry and some things to be prepared for as you go in to buy a home, because buying a house is so exciting, but you want to have some things in place first. We also have some of our ATB experts, Jenna Arks, who's a financial advisor, and Eve Miller, who's a mortgage specialist, that are going to talk about what programs are available to first-time home buyers and what you need to have for that down payment of your home. Because, like I said, it can be exciting to get into the home buying world, but when you get in and start looking at these houses, you don't want to fall in love with something that you can't afford. So how do you know that you have the right things going on? And so there's, the first time home buyers program. There is the something brand new. It's called the first home savings account. And so it's brand new to us in Canada. We're just starting to offer it at ATB here. And it's a combination of RSP and TFSA. It's really unique. And then also that night, we're going to have Amanda Wynn. She's from Canada Guarantee. And Canada Guarantee, if you're not familiar, is a mortgage insurance company. And so she's going to really talk to us about, if you're new to Canada, what programs can we offer you to make sure that you can get involved in the home ownership process as well. Gotcha. And then we have Karen Linderman as well, our local lawyer that we all love and Citizen of the Year.
I was going to say, she's Citizen of the Year too. We're actually legally obligated to say that about her for the rest of the time that she's Citizen of the Year. I did ask her that, and she said that's not true at all. But no, that's odd. You've got a good lineup of folks there. That's excellent. Wow. And so what's great about this is that you can see the whole process all the way through. And I think for a lot of folks, we think about buying a home, we think about the realtor. We're going to talk to a realtor. We're going to go and buy a house. And it's easy to forget there are other folks down the line. There's people working in the background you're never going to meet, but are integral as far as insurance is concerned, mortgage insurance, and even contents insurance and that sort of thing. And then, you have to sit down with a lawyer at the end of it. And it's like, oh, and there's a bill at the end of this, because without the lawyer, all of this work doesn't all get tied up properly. So they're super important. So it's nice you've got the whole kind of little ecosystem happening there in the shop. And so if you're new to Canada, there's a number of challenges just getting here, getting set up. If you're looking at buying a home, what a great opportunity for folks to come and learn what to do, maybe what not to do, and ask some questions, because I would imagine that would be very difficult to navigate on your own without having, and you've got all the experts in one place on that night.
We really want to be a partner in this process. And the reason why we want to bring in all these different experts is to really get Claresholmians thinking about what sort of different things maybe have you not considered before. And you certainly do not have to be a client at any point in time to join this. Just come listen in, ask questions, expand your own personal network of people that might be able to help you through this process. And if you learn one thing, or you meet someone that can help you in the process, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I appreciate that what you're saying about not having to be a client. That's really important, because it may feel like a bit of a barrier to people to be like, oh, I don't bank there. Am I allowed to? Are they going to ID me on the way in? But you're in it for everybody. Here's a question for you. What's really fulfilling to you about your job? Because you'd mentioned you've been in the industry I think 18 years. You said you've been with give or take.
Yeah, January 2nd, I think, will be 18 years.
Wow, good for you. And so what do you find really fulfilling about the role and what you're able to do with ATB?
Oh, by far is helping people. Absolutely. That's a no-brainer for me. I've had lots of different roles throughout my career in the organization, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to when you're able to help someone fulfill their dreams. That is just, there's no better thing in the world than seeing that. And when it's a client that comes back a year, 2, 3 years later, and they're like, because of the conversation I had, and maybe not necessarily with me, but with one of my colleagues. Right. And we help them to fulfill a dream. Maybe it's RESPs for their kids to go to school. It's saving for a house. It's, buying a car, whatever's important to that person. If we can be a small part of it, that is phenomenal.
That's great. No, and you can feel it. You can feel that energy when we're just in talking to you now and before the show, that's really important to you. And I think it's great. I think your clients are definitely going to feel that as well. So we've got that coming up. But there's a couple of other things happening as well I'll let you talk about what else we've got.
We've been busy in the branch, I tell you.
Yeah, no kidding.
So one thing that I'll just mention is all the time we have a rotating display of Love Local. And so it's just our way of showcasing different businesses that bank with us. and our way of just featuring them. So we're always changing out who we're featuring. So you can come into the branch, and for the most part, we always have a business or a charity or an organization that we want to highlight, and just to help, again, build that connection throughout the community. So there's an awareness of what's all going on. Right now it's the Soup Bowl. And so it's just a great opportunity for us to just showcase them.
That's fantastic. I love the Soup Bowl. We had them on. I think they made us cry. I'm going to be honest with you, Janie. They were like such a genuine group of people. And we were going to talk about the program, and I talked to Brenda, prior and everything. It was very touching, and the soup is excellent. If you haven't been to this is a quick plug for the Soup Bowl. If you haven't been, donation, and the support they've had has been incredible, and the soup is really, really good. Like it is awesome. It is an excellent. It's an excellent way to spend a Tuesday afternoon, and I think they've actually expanded their service time by 30 minutes. I think they're 11:30 to 1:30 now, because they were just getting people coming in quite a bit. So, yeah, and if you're looking to volunteer, that's another great place to do it. So a little plug there for the Soup Bowl. Backpacks. That was the next thing on my list to ask you about.
Backpacks and more about feeding people.
Yeah, more about feeding people. Yeah, exactly.
So we are going to do a charity silent auction from September 18th to 29th. Okay. And so there's so many amazing places that you could donate funds to, like the Soup Bowl. But we decided to continue on the theme of feeding. And so one of the two organizations we're going to support throughout the charity silent auction is none other than the West Meadow Elementary Breakfast School program.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then the other program that we're going to support is the Connect Backpack program. So I know it's done for the year, but we're going to help, get them going for next year, because, every year they have the same, we have the opportunity to benefit from that program every year. So.
Yeah. And the breakfast program is really important at the school. In fact, my son helped with it for a couple of years, and he was there early every day helping out, and he loved it. And it was a great way for him to connect with kids. And it's a really, really important thing that they do. It's fantastic that you're involved in that. And how handy is it that I've been sitting here with no traffic at all? No one has driven by, which is really, really great. We've just blocked the road off so no one drives by the set. But the breakfast program happens in this building, just on the other side of the school. So it's fantastic you're involved with that. And there's one more thing about back to school that you are involved with outside of ATB, but we also wanted to mention as well.
Yes, absolutely. So because the first week of school is so fun, I wanted to put in a plug for our back to school bingo. It's a fundraiser for the daycare and kids zone program, is to get their new playground up and running. Nice. And so I encourage everyone to come join us at the back to school bingo fundraiser happening September 8th at 6:30, and it's free to come. Your bingo cards are by donation. We're going to have a concession there. It'll be lots of fun. So your whole weekend after your first week of back to school is planned between they got the roller disco Saturday and the back to school bingo on Friday, and tons of fun stuff going on.
That's right. So we just added that. So September 8th at 6:30, Social Center. So this is in support of the daycare. Who doesn't love bingo, right?
It's fantastic. We do ask that we have limited, because of obviously fire restrictions, we do want everyone to get a ticket in advance. They're completely free, though. Again, the tickets are free, and your bingo cards are just by donation. So.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, Jana, you've got a lot going on, and you remembered it all.
There's lots of good stuff.
In sequential order. And so the last question here, and I told you I was going to ask you this because I know, we all know you've got the crystal ball on your desk. It's the interest rate ball, and it tells you everything that's going to happen for the year. With the Bank of Canada, you just touch the ball like a magic 8-ball, and boop. No, that's not really true. Nobody knows what's going on with interest rates. We're all hoping that they stabilize or maybe go the other way for a little while. But no matter what happens, you folks are there to help, which is great. So.
Absolutely.
We're not going to hold you to anything on the show about what's going to happen with interest rates. Nobody knows. But no matter what, you're definitely there for support. And these programs that are coming out are great to hear about, because I think a lot of folks, it's nice to hear about them as they're happening, because you could miss stuff too as a potential buyer or someone in the market. So it's really nice that you've got that information that you can share. And
Yeah, we hope if you have questions about home buying, no matter what point in the journey that you are, come join us, scan the QR code, register, join us for a conversation, and everybody is certainly welcome. And we look forward to having some open dialogue just around what that process looks like, the good, the bad, and the tricky for sure.
Yeah, like the good, the bad, and the tricky. That's very good. So just to recap, that's happening on September 13th. It's a Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at ATB downtown here in Claresholm. You can RSVP. Please click on the QR code. If you've got your phone around, everyone's using QR codes these days because it's just the hip thing to do. Who doesn't
They're
love a good...
so easy to do. Once I learned how to create it, I just thought it was brilliant.
I remember the first time I saw a QR code, I've mentioned this before on the show, it was on the back of a bus, and I was down Calgary somewhere. I had never seen one before. I thought this was clearly a mistake. Someone's muddled something up and printed it and stuffed it on a bus. But I didn't know what it was. And so I spent some time thinking, man, that's a weird ad. And then I felt like a very old person when I discovered that my kids showed me, if you just hold your phone up, Dad, magic happens. They have them in restaurants now, too. You don't even get a menu.
Someone had to show me my first time, too, so don't worry.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I sat down at this restaurant. I'm like, where's the menu? And they're like, it's the QR code. I'm like, how am I supposed to read that? Like, what is that? And no. You take your phone, and then magically everything you want pops up. So it's a great thing. All right, Jana, thank you so much for your time. I will likely see you in the next couple of days because I lost my debit card, but that's another story. I got to come into ATB and get some things sorted out. Maybe we'll talk about
You know where to find us. We'll set you up. You're in good hands with us.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And good luck with everything and the bingo, the charity. Go in and check out the Soup Bowl display. And then be sure September 13th, if you've got questions, starting at 6:30, you can go down and join everybody there and get your questions answered. Alleviate your stress. That's why you're here.
Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, everyone.
You too. We'll see you later. Bye.
See you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I'm so excited for this. This is a fella I haven't seen in a long time. I'm going to bring in my next guest. Well, we're going to bring in Lauren on location. She's in this building. Let's bring her in now. Yeah! Look at this. It's okay. I know your phone. Mr. Latta, holy smokes. I haven't seen you in a while, sir. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a cool way to connect through the internets.
Yeah, who does that nowadays, right?
I don't know. I scanned a QR code and now here I am. It's like a portal. So Lauren, you're at West Meadow right now. There's an open house happening today.
Here I am.
There you are. There you are.
There we go. I'm here.
Nice. So how busy is it there? I was saying there's no traffic on the road, so I'm surprised. Oh, yes.
Well, everyone's in their classroom.
Got it. So what's going on there today? Tell me about the event that's happening.
Really just an open house. We've done this now for about 4 or 5 years where we open the school a couple hours on the Friday before school starts, just to invite parents and kids in to meet with their teachers, drop off school supplies, try to lessen the anxiety about that first school day, which starts up on Tuesday. So it's always great to get the energy in the building and the mixed feelings of coming back to school and finishing summer, positive.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Dave. Hello.
Lauren Billy, did you do something to your hair? You look like, Lauren. Oh, there you are. Oh, I thought maybe you did something to your hair. Look at this.
No.
Wow. Oh, these kids know how to. These are kids that are excited to go back to school.
Just wanted to swap in and show you that. Bye.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dave. That's hilarious. So we've got a comment here I should put up. Annalisa says, "Nice to see you, sir." Jude says hello. He's a big
Jude,
fan.
huh?
Jude, do you remember that guy?
Amazing student.
Yeah.
It's always great to connect with former students that
He's
have moved on to bigger pastures across the street.
He's taller than everybody now, that kid. So this is a great thing. So you can come in and get just a feel for the school, especially if you've got kids going into grade 1, maybe grade 2, whatever grade, maybe they feel a little bit anxious. It's nice to come in when it's relaxed. And hello, and there's one now. I've spotted a child. Now who is this?
Are you excited for grade 2? What are you most excited for?
Mr. Latta.
Mr. Latta?
Yeah.
Or your teacher, Mrs. Cross? Yeah.
So who have we got, Lauren? Who's our guest, our special guest?
It's getting busy, so now I can't hear you. Say that again.
I said, who is our special guest there for a moment?
Oh, sorry, that was Houston Tom.
That was Houston. He's grown since last week.
And it's pretty cool to see the energy and the excitement. We're welcoming a lot of new students, a lot of new teachers. Well, and a few shifts around the building, so it's neat to get in here. And as always, our numbers continue to grow. Claresholm, people sometimes think it's a small rural town and a rural school, but we're up over 325 elementary students now, which we continue to grow. When I started here 5 years ago, we were at about 285. So Claresholm continues to bustle, and we continue to attract young families, which is awesome for the community and for our school.
That's great. No, I didn't. I was wondering that earlier, how many kids are in the school now. So is that kind of a, like, is there a maximum how many kids you can kind of handle before you got to put like a portable out there?
We take them all. We find room and we take them all. Okay. So no maximum.
Santana Tom.
Oh, hey, Santana.
We get what we get, and we are happy about that.
What grade is Santana going into? Because it looked like she was. That's a happy parent.
She's going into grade 6.
Is she
top dog of the school?
Top dog. She is top dog. You know what's so funny? Like when we were dropping, I remember Jude's grade 1, like first day of grade 1, and it's like, to parents, you're kind of anxious. You're dropping your kid off backpack, and the hugs and the kisses and the photos, and like you're creating artwork for your kid. He's going into grade 9. I'm basically hucking his backpack into the school from the parking lot. It's like we might even slow down. I'm not sure. It's just like, see ya. Good luck.
Yep, it changes quickly. Doesn't
it does,
you
doesn't it?
You enjoy it while you can. So.
You really do. No, and we had such a great experience with both our kids at that school, and I do miss it. I wish we could come back and just. I think there should be a day where the high school kids can come in and just do grade 5 just for one day.
I don't know if I agree with that, but no, I'm just kidding. That's actually not a bad thing to investigate. Elementary school for a day just to see what it's like.
Yeah, just to see what it's like. You can take that day off. Maybe it's. No,
then we send the grade 6s up to the big school to say this is what you're getting yourself into.
Right? Yeah, exactly. We've got a hello there from Dave Murphy saying hi to you. And there's so many kids that come through the school, and how you remember everyone's name blows me away. That was one thing I noticed. A lot.
I mean, that's cool. We work hard at that, but for me, it takes me a good couple days as they're coming through. I'm re-racking, but. The trick really is just to be present, right? When you're out and talking, when learning and being with the kids, you get to know them, so it's hard to forget who they are.
Yeah. That's very cool. That's awesome. So first day of school is the 5th. And
here until 1 o'clock. So you have 30 minutes to come here.
Oh, okay, so today you've got till 1 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much to both of you.
Hope everyone has a great last long weekend. I'm checking out, going to do some duties. Good to see you.
You as well.
See you back next week.
Bye,
next
guys.
week. All right. See you guys. Thanks so much. Bye. Oh, that is awesome. That takes me back. Mr. Ladd is wicked. We're very fortunate in this town to have some great teachers and great leaders, and he's definitely one of them. So it was a nice surprise to see his face today. Last couple things we're going to go through before we say see you later for the weekend. There's a few things coming up in Claresholm that we should talk about. So let's check out our community calendar. Right. So tomorrow we've got the theater camp that's happening with the Claresholm Art Society is happening, I believe, all day tomorrow at the community center. Coming up next week, and we talked about this with Carmel Steele last week. If you haven't and you're interested, auditions are coming for The Sound of Music Friday, September 8th, Saturday, September 9th at the Claresholm Community Center. Be prepared to sing a cappella or with an instrumental karaoke track, and a cold read will also be required. Cold read just means that you don't know what you're going to get necessarily. It'll probably be something from the script. Rehearsal dates are Sundays 1 to 5 and Wednesdays 6 to 9 p.m. You can call to book your audition, or for more info, you can call Dana 625-2177 and get yourself set up for that. Also coming up on September 7th, the Grey Eagle Casino bus is leaving from the Legion 9 a.m. and it'll be leaving from the Grey Eagle at 3:30 p.m., $35 a person. And you can contact Mary at 393-1482 to reserve your seat. We were talking with Jana earlier. Coming up on September the 13th, which is a Wednesday, the home buying experience is happening at ATB, 6:30 to 8 p.m. We've got a realtor. Actually, Santana she just walked by very conveniently at the school to say hi to everybody. So she'll be there. Karen Linderman will be there talking about the law side of things and your closing. And then they've got some folks talking about insurance. It's going to be a great night, full of lots of information for everybody. So if you need some info about buying a house, maybe you're new to Canada, or maybe you're just in the market and you're curious, you want to ask some questions of the experts, check them out on Wednesday, September 13th, 6:30 at ATB. We also talked about the Soup Bowl. Always got to give some love to the Soup Bowl. Coming up October 3rd, it's about a month away. Share Thanksgiving at the Soup Bowl, 11:30 to 1:30. That's going to be a really special sitting for the Soup Bowl, so be sure to check that out. You're going to think I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I'm going to mention this because it was posted. Megan McClung is on it. Everyone's going to groan, but you know what? You got to start thinking about it. The Christmas market is coming up Friday, December 1st. It's going to be here before you know it. And if you're looking to get involved, 5 to 9 p.m., and you can reach out to Megan McClung as well. $20 to reserve your spot. Tables provided and a hot drink. Can you believe we're talking about that? And then lastly, you can check out the town news on the Town of Claresholm page as well on Facebook. We've got the roller disco coming up on September 9th at 7 p.m. at the Claresholm Arena. Free admission. You can bring your own helmet, skates. You can rent for $10 a pair or bring your own. Concession opens at 6. And then finally, we have an election coming up in town. September 18th, I believe, is the by-election for mayor and some council positions. September 6th, there's going to be sort of a town hall, like a forum happening at the Social Center. I believe that starts at doors, I think, are about 6:30. The whole thing gets going about 7 o'clock. So you can come down, listen to the candidates. There are going to be some questions. It's going to be moderated. And I believe they're also going to be streaming that on Facebook to the Claresholm Chambers putting that on. So big thanks to them for doing that. You can also check out the Claresholm Local Press website as well. They'll always post the month's events going on if you're not getting the paper, which you should, by the way. You should get the paper. It's like $5 a month. Who can't afford $5 a month for the paper? We're getting it now. It's awesome. Every Wednesday, the paper shows up. You can check out all of the events going on for the month in the paper as well. Tracy, auditions. I think that's more of an anxiety than a relief if I'm reading that correctly. That's like it's a week away. But it's coming. It's theater season. And Claresholm Arts Society also is off to Calgary next week for the Community Theater Awards as well. They've been nominated for 11, I believe. So there's a whole group of folks going up there. So we'll be wishing everybody good luck on that as well. Now to close out the show, I'm not sure if Dave is around, if he's available. I think the stream that he has may be a little bit uncertain because of all the partying going on. There's pizza. There was a lot of Macarena dancing. He's only actually played, I think, 2 songs, and he's been there for an hour and a half. He's going between Barbie Girl and the Macarena, so he's going to be a tired fellow when he gets home tonight. So if you do see Dave tomorrow on the show, go easy on him because he's going to have a big, long day ahead of him. So I think that's it, folks. I think we've covered everything we need to cover. You know what? No, we haven't. There's one last thing. Sorry. There's a movie at Willow Creek with the Stavely Elks Club. I forgot to mention that. Starting at 8 o'clock on Saturday, on tomorrow. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, you can go and check that out. Have a great weekend. It's a long weekend. Stay safe. Good luck to all the kids going into a new school this year. If you're going into grade 1, if you're going into grade 7, and kind of an early congrats to the seniors that are starting grade 12 this year. So it's going to be a big year for you as well. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. And Dave and I, provided he's not at a pizza party, we will be back next week. So yeah, enjoy the weekend, folks. We'll see you later.